This is all we've got now. Single mom veteran buys $10 cabin, uncovers her late husband's secret mission. I didn't cry when the bank officer told me I had 30 days before they foreclosed on our house. I didn't scream when my 8-year-old daughter Lily asked why Daddy wasn't coming home from heaven to help us. I just sat there in that cold office, discharge papers from the army in one hand, eviction notice in the other, and realized that everything my husband Marcus died for, honor, duty, sacrifice, couldn't pay a single bill or put food in my daughter's mouth. Before we go into details, click subscribe, like and comment where you are watching from. I would be glad to know that this story reaches as far as United States of America, UK, Australia, Jamaica and India. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Now let's get into a story that will absolutely leave you breathless. To the story. My name is Rachel Chun. I'm 34 years old, former Army combat medic, and single mother. This is the story of how a $10 cabin in the Montana wilderness revealed that my husband's death wasn't the tragic accident the military claimed, and how the secret he died protecting would either save us or destroy everything I had left. Marcus Chun died 11 months ago. That's what they told me. Helicopter training accident in Germany. Closed casket funeral. Flag folded into a triangle. 21-gun salute. Thank you for your husband's service, ma'am. Here's his Purple Heart. Here's his life insurance. Barely enough to cover 6 months of expenses. I'd been medically discharged 3 months before Marcus died. Shrapnel in my left leg from an IED in Afghanistan made me a liability in the field, so the Army thanked me for my service and sent me home with a limp and a prescription for painkillers I refused to take. I was supposed to be the strong one, the one who survived. Marcus was supposed to come home safe, transition out, start that security consulting business he always talked about. Instead, I got a folded flag and a daughter who stopped sleeping through the night. The financial collapse came slowly, then all at once. Marcus's life insurance ran out. My disability checks barely covered groceries. The house in Virginia, the one we'd bought dreaming of family dinners and birthday parties, became an anchor dragging us under. I tried everything. Applied for jobs that took one look at my limp and my resume gap and said they'd keep me on file. Sold everything that wasn't nailed down. Maxed out credit cards buying time we didn't have. Then came the letter. Not from the bank, but from a lawyer in Montana I'd never heard of. Dear Mrs. Chun, regarding the estate of Marcus Chun, you are hereby notified that you have inherited property located at Lot 47, Bitterroot Valley, Montana. Total value assessed, $10. Please contact our office to claim deed. Asterisk. $10. My dead husband had somehow bought property for $10 and never told me. I called the lawyer. A gruff man named Bill Morrison who sounded like he'd been expecting me. Your husband purchased the cabin 8 months before he died, ma'am. Paid cash. Left instructions that if anything happened to him, the deed goes to you. Can't tell you more than that, attorney-client privilege. But he did leave something for you in the property. Said you'd know what to do with it when the time was right. I stared at Lily, who was coloring at our kitchen table, her dark hair falling across a drawing of our family, Mommy Lily, and a stick figure labeled Daddy in Heaven with angel wings. What choice do I have? I said into the phone. When can I take possession? 2 weeks later, everything we owned fit into our 15-year-old Honda. Lily sat in the back seat with her stuffed elephant, Mr. Trunk, pressed against the window. Mommy, are we going to be homeless? She asked in that small, frightened voice that broke my heart every single time. No, baby, I said, gripping the steering wheel tighter. Daddy left us a place. It's an adventure. Adventures are supposed to be fun, she whispered. This doesn't feel fun. She was right. Nothing about this felt fun. The drive from Virginia to Montana took 4 days. We slept in the car, ate fast food, and stretched every dollar until it screamed. My leg throbbed constantly, the old shrapnel wound aching with every mile. But I kept driving because what else could I do? Go back to Virginia and watch my daughter sleep in a shelter? The cabin appeared on the 5th day, at the end of a dirt road that hadn't seen maintenance in a decade. It wasn't a cabin, it was a shack. 1 room, sagging roof, broken windows, and a door that hung crooked on rusted hinges. The snow around it lay undisturbed except for animal tracks. This is it. Lily's voice cracked. This is all we've got now. I wanted to lie. Wanted to tell her it would be okay, that Mommy had a plan. But I'd promised after Marcus died that I'd never lie to her again. Yeah, baby. This is it. We pushed open the door. Inside smelled of rot and mouse droppings. A rusted wood stove sat in one corner. A single cot frame with no mattress leaned against the wall. That was it. No electricity. No running water. No heat. Daddy lived here? Lily whispered. I don't know. But even as I said it, I saw the details. Military precision in how the stove was positioned, maximum heat distribution. The way the cot was angled for sight lines to both door and window. The small shelf that held three things. A photograph of me and Lily, a compass, and a sealed envelope with my name written in Marcus's handwriting. My hands shook as I opened it. Rachel, if you're reading this, I'm dead and you found this place. I'm so sorry, baby. Sorry for the secrets. Sorry for leaving you and Lily. Sorry for what I'm about to ask you to do. The cabin's foundation, northwest corner. 3 feet down. Everything you need to know is there. Everything they killed me for is there. Trust no one in uniform. Not army, not police, not anyone. Only Bill Morrison. Only old friends from our unit. They're watching for anyone who comes looking. Keep Lily safe. Finish what I started. I love you both more than my own life. That's why I did this. M***. Lily tugged my sleeve. Mommy, why are you crying? I'm not crying, baby. Just dust in my eyes. But my hands were shaking so badly the letter fluttered. Marcus hadn't died in an accident. He'd been killed. And whatever secret he'd hidden here was worth murdering for. That night, after Lily finally fell asleep on the cot wrapped in every blanket we owned, I took the shovel I'd found in the car and went to the northwest corner of the cabin. The ground was frozen, every strike of the shovel sending shockwaves through my injured leg. But I kept digging. 3 feet down, my shovel hit metal. A military-grade waterproof case. Inside, a laptop, 3 USB drives, a satellite phone, a handgun with 2 magazines, and a notebook filled with Marcus's handwriting. The first page read, Evidence of War Crimes, Operation Copper Mountain, Afghanistan 2019. My blood turned to ice. I'd been in Afghanistan in 2019. I'd been injured there. I opened the laptop. Password protected. But Marcus had left a clue in the envelope. Asterisk, first word you said after surgery. Asterisk, I typed, Lily. Files flooded the screen. Photographs. Videos. Financial records. Testimony. My husband had documented everything. A rogue unit within Special Forces had been smuggling heroin out of Afghanistan using military transport. Officers were involved. Contractors were involved. When Marcus discovered it and tried to report through proper channels, those channels led straight back to the people running the operation. So they killed him. Made it look like an accident. The videos were the worst. Footage of American soldiers executing Afghan civilians who'd witnessed the smuggling. Footage of trucks being loaded with drugs instead of equipment. Footage of officers counting money while men in uniform stood guard. And then I saw my own face. A photograph. Me on a stretcher being loaded into a medevac helicopter. The date stamp. 3 days before my IED injury. The location. A compound I'd never officially been to. Notes in Marcus's handwriting. Asterisk, Rachel's injury wasn't random. Convoy was targeted because they found evidence. Rachel survived but doesn't remember. They think she doesn't know anything. She's safe as long as she stays quiet. Asterisk. I couldn't breathe. My injury. My medical discharge. My whole life falling apart. It wasn't bad luck. It was attempted murder. A sound outside froze me. Footsteps crunching in snow. Slow. Deliberate. Someone was circling the cabin. I grabbed the gun, checked the magazine, and moved to the window. A figure stood at the tree line, watching. Too dark to see details, but the posture was military. The way they stood, the way they moved, I knew that stance. I'd stood that way 1,000 times. The figure raised something to their face. Binoculars. Studying the cabin. Then they turned and disappeared into the forest. I didn't sleep that night. Sat with the gun in my lap, watching the door, listening to Lily's soft breathing. By dawn I'd made my decision. Marcus had left this evidence for me to expose. He'd died trying to bring these men to justice. I owed him that. I owed every soldier who'd served honorably. I owed Lily a world where people who commit war crimes don't get away with it. But first I needed help. And according to Marcus's notes, there was only one person I could trust. Sergeant David Park, Marcus's best friend from their unit, who'd been asking too many questions about Marcus's death, and got quietly reassigned to a desk job in Nevada. I used the satellite phone. It rang 4 times before a cautious voice answered. "Who is this?" "Dave. It's Rachel, Marcus's wife." Long silence. Then, "Jesus Christ. Where are you calling from?" "Montana. I found the cabin. I found everything. Don't say another word on this line." His voice dropped to urgent. "Listen carefully. Pack everything. Get your daughter. Drive to Kalispell. There's a diner called Betty's on Highway 93. Be there tomorrow at noon. I'll find you. And Rachel, if you see anyone in uniform, anyone at all, you run. They've been waiting for someone to find that cabin for almost a year. Now that you have, you're both targets." The line went dead. Lily woke to find me packing frantically. "Mommy? What's wrong?" "We're going on that adventure now, baby. The real one. The one Daddy wanted us to have." I knelt in front of her, hands on her small shoulders. "I need you to be very brave. Can you do that?" She nodded, clutching Mr. Trunk. "Is Daddy helping us from heaven?" "Yeah, baby. He is. He left us a treasure map. And we're going to follow it." We were 5 miles from the cabin when I saw them in the rearview mirror. 2 black SUVs, no plates, closing fast on the empty Montana highway. My military training kicked in. They'd been watching the cabin, waiting to see if anyone came for Marcus's evidence. Now they knew. "Lily, get on the floor. Now." "Mommy, I'm scared." "Do it." She dropped, and I floored the accelerator. Our old Honda wasn't built for this, but I knew these mountain roads from studying maps all night. I took a sharp turn onto a logging road, tires screaming. The SUVs followed. My leg throbbed, screaming with every shift of the pedals. But I'd driven Humvees through IED-laden roads in Afghanistan. I could handle this. Another turn. The Honda skidded, fishtailing on gravel. I corrected, pushed harder. The SUVs were gaining, their engines far more powerful. I needed an equalizer. There, a narrow bridge over a ravine. I knew these old Montana bridges. Weight limits clearly posted. A Honda and 2 SUVs would be fine. But what about 2 SUVs trying to cross at the same time? I gunned it, shot across the bridge. As soon as I cleared it, I yanked the emergency brake and spun the wheel. The Honda pivoted 180 degrees. I grabbed the gun from under my seat. The first SUV hit the bridge at full speed. The second one right behind it. The bridge groaned, cracked, and collapsed. Both SUVs plunged into the ravine below, metal shrieking against rock. I didn't wait to see if anyone survived. I drove. Betty's diner looked exactly like every other roadside stop in Montana. Neon sign, truckers nursing coffee, waitress who'd seen everything. Dave Park sat in a back booth, older and grayer than I remembered, but with the same sharp eyes that had kept his squad alive through 3 tours. He saw my limp as I approached. Saw the exhaustion in Lily's face. Saw the desperation in mine. "You brought it." I slid the laptop case across the table. "Everything. Photos, videos, financial records, testimony. Marcus documented years of war crimes." Dave opened the case, hands steady despite what he was looking at. "This is bigger than I thought." "Jesus, Rachel. This goes all the way up. Colonel Brigue. General Morrison. They're not just smuggling drugs, they're trafficking weapons to insurgents. Creating conflicts to justify budget increases. Marcus wasn't killed in an accident. He was assassinated." "I know. And they tried to kill me too. The IED that got me, it wasn't random." Dave's jaw tightened. "We need to get this to someone who can act on it. Media won't work. They'll bury it. Justice Department's compromised. There's only one person I trust, Senator Catherine Walsh. She's on the Armed Services Committee, former JAG officer, And she's been trying to investigate military corruption for years. How do we reach her? She's speaking at a veterans benefit in Missoula tomorrow night. Public event. We get you in, you hand her this evidence personally. She'll know what to do with it. Lily tugged my sleeve. Mommy, those men from before, are they going to find us? Dave looked at her, then at me. Rachel, I'm not going to lie to you. The men who killed Marcus will do anything to keep this buried. But your husband didn't die for nothing. You finish this, you expose them, and every soldier who ever served honestly gets justice. That night, in a motel room paid for with Dave's cash, I sat with Lily and told her the truth. Daddy wasn't in an accident, baby. He was a hero who found out bad people were doing bad things. He tried to stop them, and they hurt him. Now Mommy has to finish what Daddy started. Will they hurt you too? Tears streamed down her face. I won't let them. I held her close. Because Daddy's still protecting us. Every clue he left, every plan he made. It's him taking care of us from heaven. And tomorrow, we're going to make sure those bad people can never hurt anyone again. The veterans benefit was packed. Hundreds of people, security everywhere, media cameras recording every moment. Perfect cover. Dave had gotten us passes as guests of a veterans organization. Senator Walsh was scheduled to speak at 8 p.m. We arrived at 7:30. I wore my dress uniform, the one I'd been discharged in, medals and all. Lily held my hand, dressed in her best clothes. The laptop case was in a backpack disguised as a diaper bag. Senator Walsh was backstage, reviewing notes. Her aide tried to stop me, but I pushed past. Senator, my name is Rachel Chun. My husband was Marcus Chun, Army Ranger, Kia 11 months ago. I have evidence of war crimes that goes to the highest levels of military command. You're the only person I trust with this. She looked at me, then at Lily, then at the backpack. What kind of evidence? I opened the laptop, showed her one video. Just one. American soldiers executing civilians while officers watched. Her face went white. How did you get this? My husband died for it. Please. You're our last hope. She called her chief of staff over. Within minutes, we were in a secure room. She reviewed everything. Photos, videos, financial records. With each file, her expression grew harder. This is treason, she said finally. This is the biggest military scandal since My Lai. Mrs. Chun, if I move forward with this, powerful people will try to destroy you. They'll claim you faked evidence. They'll attack your service record. They'll say you're a disgruntled veteran. Are you prepared for that? I looked at Lily. Senator. And so did we. The settlement from the military, compensation for Marcus's death and my injury, was enough to buy a real home. Not a mansion, but a safe place with 3 bedrooms and a yard where Lily could play. I started working with veterans advocacy groups, helping others navigate the system that had tried to break me. The $10 cabin in Montana? I kept it, renovated it, turned it into a memorial. A place where veterans who need refuge can go. A place where truth matters more than rank. Because here's what I learned. Sometimes the people we're supposed to trust betray everything we believe in. Sometimes doing the right thing costs you everything. And sometimes a $10 cabin in the middle of nowhere holds secrets worth dying for, and living for. Marcus didn't die for nothing. He died believing I'd find his evidence, believe in his mission, and have the courage to finish what he started. And he was right. That's not just surviving. That's honoring a promise. That's love expressed through justice. That's what it means to be a soldier's wife. Not just when they're alive, but long after they're gone. My husband bought a cabin for $10 and filled it with the truth. I paid for it with everything I had left, my safety, my peace, my daughter's childhood, to make sure that truth meant something. And it did. It really did. Thank you for watching this incredible story. If it moved you, please hit that like button and share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever discovered something that changed everything you thought you knew? Let's talk about it. Don't forget to subscribe to Voice of Mama Zee for more powerful real-life stories of courage, sacrifice, and justice. Until next time, stay strong, stay blessed, and remember, the truth always finds its way to light, no matter how deeply it's buried. With love and respect.